Hi Gemini, this is your higher octave reading for the period of August 26 to September 9. That's the full moon in Pisces to the new moon in Virgo. As I said, this is the Voyager deck and I'm doing the higher octave reading using the same spread. This is a holographic mandala spread. And this will give us a little bit more deeper information as to why you're in the situation you're in. What are the karmic, what are the spiritual lessons that you are working with right now. Now we have the Tower card in the center of the spread, crossed by, this card is called Art in this deck, and it's the Temperance card. It's numbered 14 in the Major Arcana. So what I'm getting here is that you need to make a pretty major shift in your life to work towards a greater sense of wholeness, a greater sense of well-being, a more empowered personality. Because I get the feeling here that you are in a state of dissatisfaction generally in life. You have the stagnation card in the reverse position here as the energy you're coming into the reading with. And at the foundation you have the Seven of Crystals, which is dullness. You also have here at the foundation of the reading Six of Cups in the reverse position, which is sorrow, backed by the Strength card. You have the Man of Pentacles, Man of Worlds, the Achiever, backed by the Five of Cups, disappointment. Some of you may be in a situation where you're unhappy in your relationship. As I said, this reading is more about this sort of spiritual lessons involved here. So it's not as much about who is doing what to you and what's going on in your environment. This is more about you on a soul level, what's going on. And as I said, it seems to me like you're in a state of perhaps you're unsatisfied in your life and you're feeling like you need to make a shift, and you certainly could definitely use a little bit of a fresh perspective on life, let's say. Now, with the Hermit here in the outcome position, as I said, you had that in the first spread. Can you see that? The Hermit. You have quite a few cards here that are repeating from the first spread, but it's just interesting here that you have the Hermit in the same position in both readings. And they're both in the outcome position there. And that would say to me that there's definitely a part of you that is yearning for a little bit more time to yourself. I think you certainly could use a little bit of time for inner reflection. I think that you will probably benefit a lot from a meditation practice. But deeper than that, I think this is urging you to really strive for a greater sense of quality of life, a greater sense of well-being in your life, and to break free of some of this stagnation and stuckness that you've been experiencing. As I said, you have this dullness card at the foundation of the reading. It just says to me that like your spirit on a core level is really searching or desiring more from you. Like you really need to strive for more out of life, it says here. You have in this outcome position as well the Ace of Crystals, which is the Ace of Swords in this deck. And you had that in the first spread as your crossing card. So this says to me that you need to change your outlook on life. You need to change the way you look at life, the way you think about yourself, the way you think about your reality, your situation, and gain a bit more clarity on your purpose, on your reason for being here. That's quite a huge task in itself for a lot of people to kind of come to that understanding of their purposefulness. But until you kind of have a little bit more clarity on your reason for being, it's going to be really hard for you to feel satisfied in life. So even though you may not know that right now, it's important for you to actually want to reach for more in life, to aspire for more, to be able to gather more quality of self, to gather more strength, to overcome loss and disappointment, and to feel more present, to feel more like you're actually here and participating in life. Because right now it looks like you're a little bit distracted and you're a little bit dissociated from reality, and you're not really giving your 100% to your environment, to the people around you, to yourself. Perhaps you're struggling with a lot of mundane details that are perhaps overwhelming because you have so much responsibility, and that may make you feel a little bit like your own personal journey is too, what's the word? There's too many other responsibilities on your plate that leaves you feeling like your own personal journey is too far away from you to give it the attention that it needs. But for you to really be able to give your all to the people that are around you, it's important for you to really take time for yourself and to be in a practice of some kind, whether that's meditation or yoga or gardening or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but you need to find a way to get more excited about life and to put your energy into things that make you feel alive. You have here the Four of Wands, which in this deck is called Aspiration. And in this position here you have the Man of Worlds, which is called Achiever. So there's two ways I could read this. On one hand, it could be that you're putting too much emphasis on the material world and gaining monetary and material reward for your efforts, and that is perhaps a distraction that is taking you away from the important things in life. On the other hand, it could say to me that you know, the spiritual yearning to aspire for more out of life, to understand the deeper meaning for being here, is something that would be really valid, a really valid place to put your awareness and your attention, so that you can feel more happiness, I guess, or just feel more like you're relevant and that you belong here. To gather more power inside yourself, to feel more like empowered and more in tune with your true nature, which is heavenly and divine. You have the Empress card here. I think there's much more to life than you're letting yourself have access to, and you're missing out on so much because you're putting too much attention on the material plane, and it's making you feel dull, and it's causing stagnation. Yeah, you have the Priestess here in the reverse position. I think along with the Empress there's part of you that really needs to like search for the divinity within you. The bottom of the deck you have the Man of Worlds, the Man of Wands in this deck is called Actor. So you have Man of Wands and Man of Worlds. So these masculine energies balanced out in the reading by the Priestess and the Empress. I think there's an urge here to kind of discover more of the balance within yourself of the masculine and feminine, and start to understand more about the part of your energy which is connected to a much larger intelligence, to tap into that more so that you can feel much more in alignment with your true nature, to overcome some of the mundane things of life. But it's not about setting those things aside. It's just about integrating a sense of awareness with the divinity of all life, so that those mundane things actually become joyful. You also have here the Ten of Cups, and in this deck it's called Passion. So I think there's there's a yearning here for a deeper meaning in life, but it's not about having some lofty purpose. It's just about being in tune with everything and feeling like you're at one with it all, and it makes you feel like you're important and you're part of something much greater. It doesn't mean you have to have some really important role in life where you feel like you are, you know, special. Nobody's special. We're all special. Let's see what else we have here. The sun and the moon, and with the Man of Cups. Again, you have another masculine energy card here in the reverse position. Oh, hi. Hi, sweetie. Oh. This is interesting. You have the Strength card here and the Sun. What jumps out at me is the colors in these cards. I think a good place to start for you guys, Gemini, would be to cultivate more energy in your solar plexus center and work on finding more willpower. I think some of you, again, you have the same colors in this card here called Passion, the Ten of Cups. Notice the colors here in these cards. I think this is a good place to start, a way to start to meditate on your own body, your own energy centers in your body, and start to cultivate more fire inside of you. Because I think what's missing here is fire. I think these cards here, which are talking about your stagnancy and feeling dullness and a sense of boredom, there's a lack of fire, and I think your solar plexus center needs to be a little bit more activated. So I think it could be good for you to focus on meditation that helps to activate your solar plexus center, your will, the center of the body where fire is stoked, to find more drive, to find more motivation for living. These colors are appearing again in the Tower card. Look at all that red and yellow and orange. I think you could all use a little bit more presence on the earth to get a bit more grounded as well, that red. Commit to being here, because we are here. Yeah. Again, I mentioned it earlier with the Empress card and the Priestess card, along with the Man of Worlds and the Man of Cups. There's this feeling of needing to balance the masculine and feminine. And you have here again, from the Major Arcana, the Sun and the Moon card. And this kind of affirms it again, is that there needs to become a better balance within you of the masculine and feminine energies. Because it feels a little bit skewed. The Sun is in the reverse position and the Moon is upright. That says to me that, you know, there's a lot of, perhaps, you know, you're contemplating a lot, and maybe you're thinking a lot about your emotions, or you're feeling a lot of emotion, and that's making you perhaps feel sad, or perhaps you feel anxious, or perhaps you have depression. And with the Sun in the reverse position, it says to me that you're missing out a little bit on the pleasure, on the enjoyment. You're not quite feeling as happy as you could be. And I think you just need to concentrate a little bit more on restoring balance within yourself, and feeling grounded, feeling like your solar plexus, your willpower is stoked, and your fire for life, and your willingness to participate and be here and be involved and make the most out of the opportunity you have as a human. To aspire for more, to find the drive within you, to really stay motivated to keep going on the path that you're on. feel like for some of you, because you have the Five of Cups here and the Six of Cups reversed, you have another 5 here. There's some sadness and loss to overcome, some disappointment, setback. I think if you're dealing with some of those issues, you definitely will need to center yourself in the solar plexus and be grounded in the base chakra so that you can really continue to find the drive that you need to overcome these things and to move forward and keep going forward in life and find the passion and find the joy again. Yeah, you have the Star card in the reverse position again, as you did in the first reading. Again, I would say, if you're feeling sad and perhaps you have recently had some difficult experiences that you are still processing and still coming through, it's important to remain optimistic and hopeful and to find the power within yourself to keep striving for hopefulness and optimism in life, even if you've had disappointing experiences. You know, happiness is not necessarily the goal, because, you know, life is always going to bring us experiences that will challenge that. But what's important is to maintain a sense of balance, regardless of what's going on. That might seem like a trifling, dismissive comment, but really, like, human experience is a roller coaster ride. And to maintain a sense of stability within yourself is a really virtuous space to strive for. So I'll leave it there for now, Gemini. I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave that in the description box below. I'll put the link for the previous reading in the description box as well, so you can have both links together. I'd suggest you watch them again, perhaps in a week's time, and you may collect more helpful information out of them after some time has gone by. Sending lots of love, and I'll see you in the next reading.